Last week, fellow YouTuber Aaron Rutton made this video called The Painful Truth About Drawing Tablet Reviews, and I felt compelled to respond. So I mentioned Aaron's video. I'm going to stick a link up here in a card. I'm also going to stick it down below in the description. So if you want to check that out before you watch this video, pause this now, go check that out. Totally cool. So first thing I want to say about it is that I'm glad he made the video. It's a video that I've been thinking about for about the last year and a half, maybe even 2 years, but to be completely honest, I've been afraid to make. And there are many reasons for that, and I'm going to be diving into those reasons later on. But first, I'll summarize generally what Aaron was getting at in his video. Many drawing tablet manufacturers, not all of them, tend to treat reviewers like we're extensions of their sales departments and not legit reviewers. If you don't give them a good review or the kind of review that they're looking for, what they're going to do is they're going to cut off your supply of stuff to review in the future. Now, especially if you're a smaller channel, this can be a big problem because you don't want to offend the person who's giving you product that you need to review. But as a reviewer, you want to be as unbiased and as truthful as you can be in your videos. And if you want to know all the ins and outs of some of that stuff, you could definitely check out Aaron's video. And I can say this, and I actually left this comment specifically on his video, that I can confirm that 100% everything he says in it is true, and I've had the same exact experience. So I wrote down a couple examples of my own. Like number one, I already mentioned, if you don't give good reviews, you're going to be blacklisted by companies. That's happened to me a couple times. Another great example that he has is companies want to see your review before you post it. This is requested a lot. It's something that I've never complied with, but again, that's another thing that's gotten me in trouble. The third example is some of these companies will send you a product weeks or even months early and expect you to almost act like a beta tester for them, which I have this whole rant written in my script. I think I'm going to cut it out because it's going to make this video way too long. But really, that's not the goal of the reviewer. I want to review the thing that the user's going to get. I don't want to review something too early. I also have a couple examples of things that I've experienced that Aaron didn't mention in his video that I think are worth pointing out. The first one is a lot of these companies want you to participate in their promotions and giveaways. I turn these down almost all the time. If they have a discount code, I'll offer that up, but I don't like to tweet for them. I don't like to Instagram for them. I don't like to do giveaways, even though I know a lot of you love giveaways. It's not my job to sell their product. The other thing I get asked for a lot are Amazon reviews. Now, if you're selling anything online, especially if you're selling on Amazon, if you get a review, what that does is those reviews really help lift your product's listing in the search. So if you search for drawing tablet, oftentimes the things with the most reviews are the things that float to the top. And so the companies treat those things like gold, and they really push you hard to write a good review for their product on Amazon as a condition to get more product. I think I did that once with one of the very first drawing tablets I was given to review. I haven't done that since because it's not my job to help them sell product. And the third thing is whenever they release something, they have promotions that go along with that, whether it's discounts or other things, and they want you to go and like their Facebook things, share their Instagram things, share all their stuff on social media. And again, I don't do that because it's not my job to help them sell product. So I feel like I need a concrete example here, but I don't want to get sued, so I'm just gonna make up a company. Let's call them Hypothetica. Now let's say that I was a YouTuber, maybe I had gotten up to like 20,000 subscribers, and Hypothetica says, hey, we've got 2 new products and we want to send them to you to be reviewed. And I would be like, yeah, that sounds fantastic. I'm just a small channel. I would love to get Hypothetica's products. So maybe I do my first review on the 19-inch version of Hypothetica's product, and when I get it, I notice some things. For example, when I just plugged it in, before I even installed the drivers, I looked at the pens and thought, this pen looks just like this pen that I was using on another product. And so I used that other pen on Hypothetica's product, and I was like, whoa, the drivers work in everything. I have pressure here. That's kind of cool. I'm going to mention that in my review. Maybe I mentioned some other things about Hypothetica's product. Like after I installed the actual drivers and I'm using it, I noticed that there's a slow refresh rate and I'm getting some ghosting when I scroll or when I draw. It's not horrible, but it's definitely worth pointing out because people care about that sort of thing. But then I make a mistake. I don't send my review to Hypothetica before I post it on YouTube. But I do send them a link of the review once it's up in public. What's Hypothetica going to do? They're going to write me back and they're going to say, in the previous video of the 19, we saw you had a question as to whether we have Company X's drivers or not. The technology that we use is in fact our own patented technology, not Company X's. I don't know if that's true or not, but clearly the same pen worked on different devices, so they're using the same technology under the hood. right? Weird flex, but okay. They also went on to say this about the ghosting issue. We have tried it out on the remaining devices and they are all okay. We're wondering if you can cut that bit out of your video. Can you imagine what would happen if I posted a review and then a day later I pulled that review down and posted the same exact review, but with the negative bits cut out? What would happen? That would not only be really bad for me, that would be a PR nightmare for Hypothetica. So the email ended with this. If you have any questions using the 21, which is the second product they sent me, please contact us first so we can analyze what happened. Again, they want to review my videos. Now, I always reach out to manufacturers if I have a problem or if I have any questions. That's part of the review process, but actually reviewing my reviews and going through my negative points and just saying, that's a lie, that's false, you're not telling the truth. What? But this happens way more than it should. Oh yeah, they also said this. We understood, but we hope that you can not mention these things in your Amazon review. I never bothered to write the Amazon review. So at the end of the day, what happened, or this is hypothetical, at the end of the day, what would have happened if this was a real life situation is that Hypothetica never ever would send me another product again, which hypothetically is maybe what happened. Now I have continued to review Hypothetica's products and they review pretty well here. Because at the end of the day, they're not bad products. In fact, the things I mentioned in those reviews, or what I hypothetically would have mentioned in those reviews, they fixed in the very next iteration a year later. So clearly they're listening to my stuff and they saw the problem and fixed it. That's good. That's what reviews are for. That's why I'm here. So I said at the beginning of the video, I was afraid to talk about this. And it's not just because of the obvious reasons that if I talk about it, they're not going to send me product anymore, because that's already happened. But the other part is I try really hard to avoid drama. And I don't know who has what arrangements with who. And I don't know what someone's true opinion is of a product. I just don't know. So I don't want to be sitting here calling people out. And the other piece is probably a big piece of this is I think making a video where you vent about not getting free stuff from a manufacturer just comes off as really petty. Not only that, but I think I felt personally that if I elevated something and said, this company will no longer send me products because they don't like my review. If I said that, if I went out and bought the product to review it anyway, you guys would be watching that review going, now I know he doesn't like that manufacturer and that manufacturer doesn't like him, so is that clouding his judgment about this product? If I said anything negative about it, that's the first thing that would pop up in a lot of people's minds. So that's the big reason that I just didn't talk about it. And so if you are a YouTuber and you do get products, one thing that I would say is, one, make sure you disclose it at all times where you got it and make that perfectly clear. And two, don't be afraid to say no if they want you to promote things that you're just not comfortable promoting. And this is really self-serving, but I gotta say it anyway, do not, and I repeat, do not send them a preview of your review to fact check. Don't do that. Makes it harder for all of us. So I've said this before, if you've been here a while, you know how this works. If a video is sponsored, I say that it is sponsored. I put a little flag on it that says, this is sponsored by so-and-so. The other thing I do at the beginning of every video is I introduce the product, I play my little music bumper, and the very first thing I say after that is, this product was provided to me by insert company here. I'm adding this in just to clarify something. In about half of my videos, I do not mention who provided the product because I'm the one who bought the product myself. So this brings me to a question I get all the time, and I think it's actually a really good question. That question is why don't you just not take any free product anymore and just buy it all yourself? There's two reasons. The main one is the financial one. I never would have reviewed the Cintiq Pro 24 if it wasn't for Wacom. I never would have reviewed the Canvas if it wasn't for Dell. I still haven't reviewed any of the Microsoft Surface Studio products because at this point, I can't afford them. That is going to be changing. As this channel grows, it becomes more, and it just becomes easier for me to do that. But there's a second reason, and unfortunately, this one is a business reason that's kind of hard to get around. If you get product early, for example, I got the Wacom Cintiq 16. I got it before the embargo was lifted, before anybody knew that it existed. Several YouTubers did, several illustrators did, and so day one, Wacom announces it, and within an hour, I'm allowed to release my review. So as everybody's talking about it, my review is right there at the same time as everybody else's, and you get a ton of views, you get a ton of people interested in the product. If you're not on that early train with a lot of these products, for example, my iPad mini review, it's done okay, but it would have done so much better if I was able to get it 2 weeks earlier when The Verge was reviewing it, when CNET was reviewing it, when all the big YouTubers were reviewing it. So this thing is a whole mismatch. How do I actually run a review channel without being able to get product from the manufacturers to review? And if you're getting the products for free, and I'd say many of them, especially the more inexpensive ones, you get to keep, how can you say something unbiased about that company or about that product? And this is something that comes up all the time on the channel, and overall, there's some people that just will not trust anything I ever do because of that, and I've come to accept that, and I understand that. Personally, I feel that the quality of my reviews speak for themselves, and most people can make up their own minds. The people of YouTube have a really good BS detector. Ultimately, I'm running a business, a really fun business, but at the end of the day, my reputation is worth way more than a $300 or $400 drawing tablet. One of my YouTube heroes, Marquise Brownlee, said it best. When you review something, you have to tell the truth. The truth is going to get out there anyway. People are gonna know if something sucks. It's only a matter of time. So thank you guys for watching. I know this video is really inside baseball, and for those of you who hate this, well, you probably haven't made it this far. But I do appreciate all the support. It has been helpful over the years, and I'm going to continue to do what I do, but I'd love your feedback on this sort of thing. Let me know down below in the comments. Also, check out Aaron's video if you haven't had the chance to watch it yet. And that's all I've got. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in a couple of days.